Mother. Hey guys, welcome to Split. Today we are talking about the Nothing Ear 2, the follow-up, sort of, to the Nothing Ear 1. And bottom line, is it worth the upgrade? Do you want to shell out more cash for this? Let's find out. Okay, Nothing Ear 2. So why I say there's sort of the follow-ups to Nothing Ear 1, you do recall there was a Nothing Ear stick that's sort of in between them. More about that, I will leave the link in below or link it somewhere in the video. You can check it out later. Right now, let's talk about why we're here, the Nothing Ear 2, starting with the unboxing experience, which was a bit of an experience for some of us. So what they've done is it's slightly smaller form factor of the box, and of course you have to destroy the top layer to get into the bottom layer. They've sort of switched things up a bit. In the Nothing Ear 2s, the outer layer is white, and there's a black container on the inside. In the Nothing Ear 1, it was a black outer shell, which you had to destroy the top part to get into the silver case on the inside. It's, I guess they had to switch it up a bit. Inside, you will get your reading materials, QR code to download the Nothing app if you don't already have it on your phone. I guess if you're upgrading, you probably already have it. Controls to let you know what to do, which you're never going to read, of course. If you pluck that apart, you're going to find two boxes, one with the Type-C cable, and the second box with the two extra pairs of ear tips. For those of you who have bigger or smaller ears, whatever floats your boat, you decide what fits. And there's a fitness test. We'll talk about that later. And then you have the earbuds themselves. Starting with the case design, it comes in white right now. I think that's the only color that's available since launch. Maybe it will eventually go to black as usual, but this is what I have right now. It looks pretty similar to the Nothing Ear 1. But you can tell that they somehow figured out how to shrink the form factor just a bit to make it a bit more ergonomically better. And they've done this because I think the Nothing Ear 1 had three parts. The wireless charger, the plastic casing, and the housing are like three separate parts. The engineers have sort of optimized this so that the whole case and the charging and the cradle that holds the earbuds in there are just two parts. So you lose about 5 grams less in total in comparison to this. So it's a sleeker form factor, slides into your pocket a bit better, leaves less of a bulge, so no awkward conversations about what's sticking out of your pocket if they just happen to see you. And that's that for the outer case. It still keeps everything. You still have wireless charging, you still have a USB-C port, you still have a connectivity button outside, and you still have the indicator light that shows you the status of your buds and if you're charging or if you're in pair mode, and so on and so forth. Moving on to the earbuds themselves, again, design language is almost identical. So if you look really closely, you realize that the mesh system for the venting has been moved around a little bit, and the antenna array has been moved down as well to enhance connectivity for one of the new features, which is multi-point connection, which is something I really like, but we'll talk more about that later. Let's stay with the earbuds. What else has changed here? So the Nothing Ear 1 used to be double tap to play, double tap to pause, and triple tap to change tracks, which kind of bothered me because that's a lot of tapping just to do one function. And you have to swipe up and down to get the volume go up and down, which depending on what day of the week it is, if you have moist fingers, it could or could not work. What they've done here is the Apple AirPod style, which is the pinch to activate, which is more precise in the sense that you will get the function of what you've activated it for. But for some, me included, it is annoying because I have to figure out that delicate balance of pinching without moving it while it's in my ear, and that bothers me. But you do you. Let me know what tickles your fancy in the comments below, whether pinching or squeezing. That sounds weird now that I said it, but let me know anyway. Okay, so let's go into features. Let's talk about noise cancellation and transparency mode. Starting with noise cancellation. In the Nothing Ear 1, you either had them on or you had them off. There was no in between. Fortunately, in Ear 2, you can have them on high, medium, and low, and something called adaptive. And that's supposed to help you sort of adjust what you hear when it comes to noise. In terms of feedback, it's a mixed bag in the sense that it does cut out a lot of the low rumbles where you get hums and stuff that would typically be noise when you're listening to music. But I hear a lot of the highs coming through. But again, depending on what you want, you can go into the settings and adjust that. But what it's doing, unlike the higher end noise cancellation earbuds, it's not blocking out all the noise. It's just deciding which noise it wants to block. So, it's this or that and not all of it. But you could decide what you prefer and where you sit. This may not be a problem for you, okay? So it's good, but it's not great. Moving on to transparency mode. Like in most earbuds I've reviewed, a lot of them kind of suck at this feature. So I think the companies think transparency mode is that sort of help you. Okay, let me tell you what I think transparency mode should be. Transparency mode should be you listening to the outside world naturally. But what these companies think is that it's supposed to give you superhuman strength, because when you turn them on, you can hear the humming of your refrigerator and probably your neighbor's dog 2 blocks down. It's just a lot coming in that you typically wouldn't hear if you were listening naturally. And that's my quirk with transparency mode. Other than that, it works. So let's get to why most people buy earbuds, and that is, how do they sound, right? And when I heard about the launch for Nothing Ear 2, I figured it wasn't going to be much of a difference. They just wanted a cash grab, but I am happy to report that it is significantly different and better, in my opinion anyway. And don't get me wrong, the Nothing Ear 1 was no slouch. The difference, well, technically, it had an over bass sound signature. The bass was really high, which is not bad when you're towards Afropop or hip hop, very easy genres that appreciate that signature. But a lot of the mids and highs were just all over the place, in my opinion. They were tuned by teenage engineering, still good stuff, don't get me wrong, but here they sort of honed a bit more. The bass signature is still a bit more than normal, but not too overbearing that it's overwhelming. And the highs are very spot on, which gives you for a cleaner sound signature, better music, just a better experience, in my opinion. So let me know what you guys think. If you have both, if you don't, this would probably be the way to go. But they're only able to achieve this better sound quality because of the new design for the drivers, which has 2 chambers instead of 1 from the original. And they also have a technology called clear voice technology for the ANC that's also in here. So I guess those 2 hand in hand give you a better sound signature altogether. What else did they add to the Nothing Ear 2? It supports high-res 24-bit audio, which some people, like my man Jay, claims he swears to hear it. I can't hear it. Might be old. And 99% of my friends can't hear the difference either. So 16-bit and co is just fine. But it is a nice feature to have. So if you do have like Tidal that can stream that high-res audio, you might be able to completely notice it. But it's not a deal breaker for me. But it is a nice feature to have if, just so you know when you're making that decision. Yeah, so all these guys who can hear 24-bit audio, and yet I call them all the time, and they claim they can't hear their phones ring, but they can hear 24-bit audio. But who am I to judge? Moving on, it does support this with the LDCH codec, which is weird because it could have used aptX HD or LDAC, which are more famous high-res codecs, but it decided to use the LDCH codec. I suppose leading into the Nothing Phone 2, which will support that, because currently it is not supported in the Nothing Phone 1. So why would they put it here if not? So that's my prediction. Quote me on it. Okay, what else is improved here apart from audio quality? The microphones. You're going to be making calls with this. Everybody's on Zoom now or Teams and so on. Long and short, it is better. It's not drastically better, but they are a bit better. Microphones on earbuds tend to struggle, but I think now that they've adjusted the array system to point towards your mouth a bit more, I guess that's why it's a bit better. Like I said, don't expect a quantum leap in quality between the Nothing Ear 1 and the Nothing Ear 2. The second thing, which I think is a big deal for me, is multi-point connection. I'm always on my computer and my phone is around the corner, and you don't want to keep connecting and disconnecting or taking out your earbuds to listen to one or the other. Multi-point connects to both devices at the same time and switches automatically depending on where you're playing audio from. That works here. That is here in the Nothing Ear 2, and it works flawlessly so far. I will do more rigorous testings because sometimes when you sort of jump back and forth quickly, some of them tend to forget what they're connected to, but that hasn't happened yet. But I will let you guys know in my when I'm going head to head with the Buds Pro and maybe one of the Samsungs, maybe even Apple itself, who knows. And then I'll give you an update on that. In terms of total battery life, I say battery life, battery life, battery life. That's a blooper reel right there. In terms of total battery life, you get 2 extra hours on the Nothing Ear 2 at a total for 24 hours versus the 22s on the Nothing Ear 1. But the buds themselves carry about 4 hours per charge. That hasn't changed. So if you're going on a flight that's longer than 4 hours and you need to use this all through, you got to recharge and put them back in the case, but at least you're solid for 24 hours on the Nothing Ear 2. Summing it up, it is better, sounds better, and what else fix here? It had weak in-ear detection. So whenever I moved around quite a bit, sometimes they would go on and off, they would pause, on and pause, but didn't happen all the time, but happened with some of my friends I've checked in. These are much, much better. These are locked in. The in-ear detection seems a whole lot better, maybe because they adjusted the mesh vent system. This had, Nothing Ear 1s had very limited noise canceling. Like I said, it was either on or off. Here you have the options from mid to high to low, and you have, of course, to adjust it to your personal level of noise canceling. But remember, it's not perfect noise canceling. You're just choosing one over the other, in my opinion. Then you had overpowered bass in Nothing Ear 1s. Here, it's still powerful, but a bit much lower into the range of what would be a cleaner soundstage. It's still very strong on bass, so you're still gonna enjoy it if you're, like I said, Afrobeat guy, hip hop, and a lot of rock genres. You're gonna love this, but this is a better sound signature overall than the Nothing Ear 1s. And finicky controls for me. This thing was a nightmare to swipe up and down, and double tapping to play and double tapping to pause and triple tapping. That's a lot of tapping. I just wish they could give you more options to control with single taps and what you could do between both ears. This is more of a squeeze Apple earbud type thing, but even for me, that's still a problem because I don't want to be squeezing my ear tips because I have to move it. But that's a personal thing. Let me know what you guys prefer in the comments below. But it is more precise all in all. Those are your reasons to pick this. If you've never bought a Nothing Ear 1, if you didn't buy an ear stick either, like I said, that would be the only reason to get this. But if you already have this, I wouldn't recommend you upgrading to this. Still based out, maybe it's a connection thing for you, the multipoint. If that's really something you're keen on and you're very, sold on the Nothing brand to buy that might be a reason to go for these. But all in all, not if you already own them, I wouldn't recommend that. But if you're going to join the Nothing brand for the first time, these would be the ones to go for, in my opinion. Let me know what you guys think in the comments below. Don't forget to like and subscribe. I will see you guys in the next one. Take care.